Hello everyone, it is currently Monday and I'm really wanting to get started on a new project, but this upcoming weekend, my husband and I are planning on going to the Renaissance Faire, and I knew I wanted to make a little outfit for the Ren Faire. I did go through my Depop closet actually, which sometimes I find some old gems from there. So I pulled a few things that might work. All right, so I do really like this dress. I think there's potential here. Maybe something that cinches the waist, like a little crochet belt. Let's look on my Pinterest to see what I pinned. Hello. I took some footage of me walking through Pinterest and what I had pinned and kind of deliberating over what I wanted to make for this video. However, because I was really in the creative process, I didn't do a great job of demonstrating or articulating that. So I have compiled all of the things that I would like to make for Renaissance Faire if I had all the time in the world, and then I will continue on showing you my journey in what I ended up making. I knew that some sort of cinching waist belt or corset was something I was interested in making, both for this outfit but also just to have within my general wardrobe. So a couple that really stood out to me were the Briar bodice pattern. I liked this one. I liked the angular front and the opening at the top, that it was adjustable there as well. I also really liked this crochet butterfly harness. That's actually a pattern that caught my attention a while ago. I think I applied to test for it, but was something that I thought would look very pretty over this dress. Another that I looked at was the Elise corset pattern. I really liked that one. I loved the little ruffly details to it, and actually might be something that I end up making in the future. Another one that was towards the top of my list was the Bernat free pattern. I actually took some inspiration from this, not just in the corset belt, but also the little skirt hikes that are attached to this pattern. Another thing I thought about doing was some sort of like cardigan or overlaying very lacy dress type patterns. So a couple that really caught my eye were the butterfly bonanza pattern. I think this is so gorgeous and is also something that I might add to my list of just things to make for fun. The last kind of category I knew I wanted to make something in was accessories. I looked at many different types of headpieces, hair pieces, belts, and shawls. For shawls, there are so many free shawl patterns on Drops, but the evening breath shawl on Drops was one that really stood out to me. I also think that the Willow Yarns greenery shawl pattern was really beautiful. I think if it were a different time of year, this is definitely something that I would go for. It reminds me very much of Outlander vibes, which I love, so that also could be something fun to make for a future costume or outfit. So if you're wanting more inspiration, there's definitely a lot more pieces that I pinned, as well as some like accessorizing and makeup ideas, so be sure to check that out. All right, so after much deliberation, I have decided to make the Briar bodice pattern. I just purchased it, and I am planning to put it over this green slip dress. So that's the plan. I'm trying to figure out what yarn to use. It calls for a medium weight yarn. I want to use cotton because it's going to be super hot. I have this, which I purchased from Joann's right as it was closing. Bamboo and cotton blend, medium weight, so that works perfectly. This is like a purpley gray, so I think it'll look really pretty with this, kind of a contrast. It's very fairy colors, I think. And I don't have to go to Michael's then. So here is how it's working up so far. I love this stitch. I like the structure that this yarn is providing with the 3.5 hook. I tried it with the 4, it was too gappy for my liking, so I'm using the recommended hook size from the pattern. But this is a made to measure pattern, so really you can do whatever you want. I am getting some curling because you start with slip stitches, so that's not great, but I think it's fine. So basically you start by making the side panel. I'm just keeping track of my row count with my little stitch counter because I have to replicate this for the other side. This has happened to me a lot with rayon or bamboo yarns, is it untwists itself as you're working. It doesn't like stay together, I think because it's so slippery slinky. And so you can kind of see what I mean here. It's just like a bunch of thread. And so I have to go really slowly, and it's hurting my hand to work with this yarn. I feel like it probably would be better for knitting because that would matter a little less. But especially working with a smaller hook size and this being the yarn that it is, and also it's kind of cheap yarn to be honest, I'm not having a good time working with this yarn. But otherwise I'm having a good time. Okay, we took a dinner break. I made some fresh pasta and pesto and some chicken sausage. It was delicious, and also gave my hand a little break. I'm definitely getting used to this yarn now. I'm like pretty close to being done with this skein, and I just started the increases. You can see my first increase there. It's got like a little stretch to it, so I'm keeping that in mind. I'm feeling really good about my progress so far tonight. Just after 9, so I'll probably do it for another hour. So we'll see. Good morning. I did crochet for like another hour last night and actually got 16 rows done, so a lot more than I expected. I guess I did get a lot faster. Please excuse the sound of my coffee being brewed in the background. But here's what it's looking like so far. I think we're getting pretty close, this much to the center. I do want a little gap. I think I might do 20. It is heavy. Oh, also, this is how much I have of my first skein, so this will definitely take more than one skein for each side. I'm guessing I'll probably use like 2 1/4 total. I think this is super good progress for one day. So happy Tuesday. It is lunchtime. I only have a couple minutes left, but I did just finish my first front panel. So I did stop at the 20 rows. I think this will be plenty. I do think I made my initial panel like a little long. Honestly, I could have made it probably more like here, but that's fine. For the dress, it'll look great. For wearing it with pants, I feel like it might be a little bit harder, but honestly, it's cute. Now I just need to repeat this whole section. Hopefully I can get this done by like tomorrow. 2 more increases to do. I was a little worried because I'm definitely crocheting a lot looser on the second one. It's like slightly longer. You just need to be blocked and they'll be fine. Just ran out of my second skein. I just finished my second panel. I can't believe I did all of this in 2 nights. My hand definitely does hurt, so I'm glad that I'm done with the bulk of this. Now we need to, I think we sew up the middle. I just mattress stitched from the bottom to the top, but I do have to do a single crochet border. All right, so we had a slight hiccup yesterday. My cat was really not feeling good, so I had to take her to urgent care yesterday, and that was really stressful. I did not get any work done on the project yesterday, but the good news is my cat seems to be feeling a lot better today, so fingers crossed that she continues to get better. This is corset is looking like. I'm loving how it turned out. Like I said, it's like a little wonky here, so I'm just hoping that between adding the little tie in the middle there and then blocking it, that will all even itself out. Same thing with this, it's kind of curling under. The other major issue, which is completely my fault, I didn't read far enough in the pattern, but basically I forgot to make the little loops. I was considering, should I undo it or should I just make another row of border on each side? I'm gonna do that, and I'm still hoping that I can get this wet blocking today so that it'll be fully dry and ready to go by the weekend. It's lunchtime and I just finished the little loops for the back. So I just ended up doing another row of single crochets, and I think it looks just fine. Definitely glad I didn't undo the whole border to redo them. And now I want to lace it up so I can try it on. So I'm having a hard time getting the ribbon through the loops just because it's so flimsy. I have this giant tapestry needle from my Centro. I'm just threading that through, so now it is much. Oh, this is a scrap. Y'all, this is so exciting. The only thing I'll say is I wish I had made it smaller. It's almost touching in the back when I laced it up, and I honestly could have it way tighter. This is such a fun color combo. I forgot to have this skirt too. We could do the little skirt hike. Not bad for something I have whipped together in a couple days with only materials on hand. I'm pretty proud of that. One of the things I was thinking about making too, it might be a little much to do 3 skirts, but I found this sparkly yarn that I thrifted a super long time ago. It's like a cotton sparkly yarn. Definitely fits the color theme. It's got like purples and greens in it. Could be another skirt or like a little shawl type thing. I think because of how this skirt is looking and our time constraints, I think I'm gonna make the skirt hike first. And then if we have time, I'll make some sort of hair piece and or shawl skirt situation. So steam blocking just in the spots that I wanted it definitely fixed the little like rolling problem that I had. So I'm actually not going to wet block this because I really don't want it to gain any width at all, really. I just pretty much need to weave in the ends and do the little lace up in the front, and then this will be good to go. Still have a couple days. For the skirt hike, I thought I had more brown, but this is all of the cotton brown that I have in my stash. I do have this loops and thread medium weight cotton. I guess technically I could like dye it with coffee or something. So I'm gonna make the little skirt hike. Okay, so this was a really fast, easy project. I basically just have to like sew it together now. The pattern that I'm following calls for D-rings, which I don't have D-rings, but I have, I think, something that will work close enough. These, I'm gonna use this size for the D-rings. Okay, well that was just about the easiest crochet project I've ever done. It works perfectly. Actually holds the skirt, and this is a pretty slippery fabric, so that's nice. I found a drops pattern. I almost gave up like 30 minutes ago, and then I figured it out. It's like a little fan stitch, and you increase in the center, and the part I got stuck on was, it said after this row keep repeating row 5 and 6 with an increase, but then they didn't define the increase, and I was like, huh? It's really not hard. It just took my brain a really long time to figure out, especially it's 9:30, so I don't have a ton of brain power left anyway. There's a diagram, but I suck at reading their diagrams. They're confusing to me. Happy freaking Friday, y'all. I didn't get really anything else done last night. I was just feeling tired and kind of burnt out. So I watched a bunch of Love Island, and that was that. I did get some crocheting done this morning, and on my lunch break though, this is how far I've gotten so far with the little sash piece. It's basically gonna be like a skirt wrap situation, but also can be worn as a shawl. I also think it would be really cute, a matching bandana. Like, how cute is that? Might have to do that. The issue we're gonna run into is time. I am going a lot faster because I figured out the pattern. Stay tuned to see if we finish. Happy Saturday. It's super hot today, so I think we're gonna go to the fair tomorrow because it's supposed to be a little bit cooler. This is the progress on the shawl. I've officially run out of yarn. It's supposed to be, I think, like 4 more rows, quite honestly, or 3 or 4 more rows, but it's pretty good. The problem I've run into is I ran out of yarn with this much left of the row. There's no way I can get more of this yarn, especially not today. So I have this gray mercerized cotton. This is probably the equivalent of this held double. So I think I'll do like the border stitch in this. And then I'm going to unravel the last row that I just did, and I'll hold one strand with this and then just switch to this for the border. And I think that will blend them nicely. Also, I'm so silly. I went back and looked at the pattern, and they literally have a video tutorial on their website. So I could have saved myself a lot of pain and time just if I had seen that. It is Saturday evening. This took a lot longer than I had anticipated. Granted, I did take a pretty big break this afternoon to like go grocery shopping and stuff, but she's huge. I think I made the full size with the pattern. I did 17 fan rows, so that's just one shy of the full size pattern. It's so pretty. I decided to lean into the gray to make it look hopefully more intentional. I think it worked. Before blocking, I will show you everything styled tomorrow. I'm really excited. Let's wet block her. Here's the finished look. Here's the makeup. Very glittery, very pink and purple. We're just wearing this jewelry that I already had. I paired it with the bag that I originally bought this ribbon for. But the color scheme is perfect. I think the only thing that I would change is the size of the corset. It either needs to be tighter or have straps because it is kind of falling down. So I do think that I will add some straps to it after this. Not bad. I didn't buy a single new thing for this entire project, which I'm so happy with. It is like an hour drive to the Ren Faire, so stay tuned.